Good evening, everyone. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner, and this is yet another edition of my For My Students video series. And this particular video is going to go out to Christopher Sadoun. And if I have mispronounced your name, you have my deepest apologies on that. It is also going to go out to Ricky Damper. But before we get into all of that, I recently celebrated my birthday, and a lot of people have been asking me, what did I get for my birthday? Well, I'm going to show you. I got a book. See this brand new book? Okay, I'm going to be discussing this a little bit later on in this particular video, but as you can see, I got myself a new book. And I may discuss it further in a future YouTube video, so hang in there, folks. You may hear a lot about that particular book in a future video. Okay, now let's go on to Christopher Sadoun. You wrote me a very large comment on a video that I uploaded a long time ago. I uploaded a video on the Times New Roman font, and I'm going to leave your entire comment in the description below so everybody can read it. It was a very lengthy one, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that down there so everybody can read it. It was a very nice comment. It really was. It was very informative. I learned a lot. But the thing is, I would like to know the source of the material that you got this from. I really would. I'd like to know more about this. I'm very curious. So please, if you get a chance, leave me a comment in the comments below telling me where you got all this information from. I'd like to do more research on it. I'd like to learn a little bit more about this. So, if you would be gracious enough to do that, I would be very happy to see that. Okay, now, let's go on to Ricky Damper. Your comment was a little shorter, but it was also very good. It was left on a couple of my accounting videos, and I'm sorry to say that I never completed my accounting courses. I am a data processor, so accounting wasn't that big of a deal for me, but I will try to get whatever information I can get for you. But this is what you actually said. You said, I'm learning accounting to start an online bookkeeping business. What other concepts in accounting should I learn to provide the best service for clients? Well, here's the thing. And this is what a lot of people don't comprehend. Alright? When I structured my channel the way I did, it was for a purpose. Think about this for a second. Okay, the first thing you have to have in order to accomplish what I want everybody here to accomplish is good memory skills. That's why I provided a playlist of memory videos, and I will be expanding that in the not so distant future. I will also be adding closed captioning to those so anybody that's hearing impaired will be able to watch them. Okay, now once you acquired good memory skills, and you learn how to speed read, and you can learn how to speed read in my featured video, and I'll leave a hyperlink to that in the description below so you guys can watch that as well. I know I need to update that, and I will someday in the near future. I should have done that last year, but I never really got a chance, and hopefully this year that's exactly what I'll do. Boom, there you go. Alright, so once you've got the speed reading and the memory techniques, what you have to have is an extensive vocabulary. Why do you have to have an extensive vocabulary? Well, in your particular case, your name is Ricky Damper. The reason you have to have it is because you have to be able to read something like this. Okay? These are pretty big books. They're thick books. And they have a lot of extensive vocabulary. And if you do not comprehend extensive vocabulary, you're not going to be able to read something like this. And this is also the case with this particular book that I've been reading that I just got for my birthday. And I placed 14 vocabulary words and their etymologies on my fan page. Again, I will leave a hyperlink to my fan page right down here in the description below. For those of you who have never seen my fan page, you'll be able to see that. Once you have an extensive vocabulary, good memory skills, and speed reading skills, the next thing you need is statistical capabilities. Because remember, you don't just do accounting. Okay? In some corporations, what you need to do is display the information in a visual way where ordinary people can comprehend what's been going on in your bookkeeping. Okay, looking at a bunch of numbers doesn't always tell people a complete picture. Sometimes they need a better picture. So you draw pie charts and bar charts and all other kinds of charts, and by looking at those, they can get a better picture of what's going on in their business. And that requires statistics. And statistics also has, when you're reading their textbooks, it has extensive vocabulary. That's why you learn Italian. You say, why do we learn Italian? What's so special about Italian? Because they had an area in Italy called Latium, and inside this area, and you can look this up for yourself, they had a place called Alba Longa, which means long rows of trees. It was a little village, and from there came the Latin language. And as I have stated in a previous video, 6 out of every 10 words that you speak in the English language comes from Latin. And this is proven by a 1932 Latin reader that I currently own from Ullman and Henry. There you go. That's why you learn Italian. It's the same country. Get it? So it's really a chain of events. First you learn the memory skills and the speed reading, then you learn Italian, then you learn Latin, and then you learn all this mathematics, including statistics, so you can do the kind of accounting you need to do. And also, you get yourself some FASBs. I know this is like volume 3, but there are actually 3 volumes to this. You read your FASBs, you learn your FASBs, and then you can do the proper accounting you need to do. And that's how that works. You see what I mean? And keep in mind that I would say well over 70% of the terminology you learn in medical terminology comes from Latin. Say, well, why would I need to learn medical terminology? Let me tell you something. When you're sitting in that doctor's office and he's quoting all these medical terms to you, you're going to be thanking me for learning all that medical terminology. Oh, I never thought about that. It is really for your health. And if you ever have to look up something that pertains to your particular medical condition, it'll be a lot easier if you know medical terminology. It really will. So that's why you learn medical terminology. You also, if you're going to do accounting, if you're going to do any kind of mathematics at all, you have to develop a sense of logic. I wrote a Kindle book called The Key is Logic. I actually now have it in audio. You can find it here on my YouTube channel. You can listen to it all you want. I had to divide it up into 3 different parts because of YouTube's rules, but you're more than welcome to listen to it. I also have logic videos on my YouTube channel. You can look those up for yourself. There you go. But anyway, that's what this is all about. I wanted you people to have these capabilities because I wanted you guys to have higher paying gainful employment. In other words, jobs that pay you a lot of money. Well-rounded jobs that pay you a lot of money. And that's what this is all about. And that's why it took me this long to make this particular presentation. Now, I'm going to end this particular video kind of on a sadder note. There was a lady wrote to me. Her name was Earth Gal. I mean, her handle was Earth Gal, okay? And it was because of my review of the Meghan Trainor song, No. Now, I didn't realize when I did my review of that Pentatonix had covered that particular video. So I went through the comments of that Pentatonix video, and I tried to interact with those who had left comments on that particular video to start a commentary. Wow, I tell you what, that didn't go so hot. Let me tell you something. What we're dealing with here is social media. Okay? Let me define that for you again, because I covered social media on Social Media 101 video, and I also uploaded a second video, Social Media 102. But let me restate it. If you leave a comment on a public video, like the one that Pentatonix had uploaded, what you're in essence doing is doing the same thing as if you went to New York Times Square, took a megaphone, and said, "Hey, everybody, look at me, look at me, look at me." If you do that, don't stand there later on and say, "Well, I didn't expect anybody to respond." Really? That is a stupid statement. It really is. Why wouldn't people respond to you if you have a megaphone in the middle of Times Square saying, "Look at me, look at me"? They would respond. And that's what I did. That's what social media is all about. Now, when you're talking about going to a social club, whether it be a bar and grill or like Studio 54, you guys can look up Studio 54 all you want. Let me tell you something. You go there to mingle. That's the whole purpose of the club. Okay? If you don't want to mingle, you don't go to a club like that. That's why they have clubs like that. There's your logic right there. You want a logic lesson? Logically deductive reasoning states that if you're going to a social club, you're going there to socialize. If you're not going there to socialize, you shouldn't be there, because that's why other people go there. See what I mean? But boy, Earthground just doesn't agree with that. I'm like, where did you get your education? Where did you get your logical reasoning? So, when you're going to a social club, you have to be social. If you don't feel like being social, don't go to a club like that. And she was standing there saying something about, well, if you're a widow, then you don't expect... No, if you're a widow and you don't want to socialize, don't go to a social club. That's logic. I know there are some people apparently that disagree with me on that, but it is totally logical. If you're not prepared to socialize, don't go to a social club. That is a logical statement. Yeesh. I didn't think I'd have to explain all that, but anyway, now that I have, there you go. Anyway. Wowee. Now, keep this in mind, and this is the last thing I'm going to say here. When you're reading books like this or the accounting book like that, the only way you're going to get information out of these types of books is to expand your vocabulary. How do you do that? With the memory techniques and the speed reading. That's what I was presenting all that stuff for. So that you could get whatever you could out of these books. The more you know, the more you can help others. And that's the whole point. So, take the time. Learn to speed read. Utilize my memory technique videos. Expand your vocabulary with Italian and Latin. Then, go out, learn your mathematics. I've taught so much of that right here on this YouTube channel. If you want to learn how to draw, I've given 155 HTML lessons. Some of those include SVG. Learn how to draw. then utilize all of that information and then go on. Alright. If you guys need any further assistance from me, let me know. I'd love to help you guys. And learn the etymology of being social. And learn the techniques of being social. Let me tell you something. The more you know, the more social you'll become. You want to really beat shyness, and I'm not talking about social anxiety disorder. That's a completely different topic. I know there are people that do suffer from social anxiety disorder, and that's a lot harder to overcome than simple shyness. I make that distinction on my video. I know Beauty Crush did not do that, but I'm making the distinction. There is a regular shyness, and there's something called social anxiety disorder. If you have social anxiety disorder, you need more than what I can present you on this YouTube channel. You need to seek professional help if you've got something like that. But if you have just simple shyness, I can cure that right here. Emulate me. The more you emulate me, the more likely you'll have friends, you'll have practically anything you want. I'm not kidding you. Alright. And I guess I could say one final thing. It's just a little repeat of what I did on my video Response Wars video. I thank you for staying tuned and keeping watching with me throughout this whole video. I mean, I know what crazy Josh Cravey would say at this point, but anyway, if you don't know what he would say, just go ahead and refer to one of his videos and you'd see what I'm talking about. Anyway, there is an ability to close caption YouTube videos if you are a YouTube content creator, and I already discussed this with Crazy Josh Cravey. If you are a YouTube content creator, play one of your videos. When you do, look right underneath it. You're going to see a bunch of editing tools. One of them on the right hand side is going to say CC for closed captioning. You click on that. Choose the language of English unless you don't speak English, and then choose your own native language, or choose another language, whatever you want. Then, on the upper right corner, you're going to click the edit button, and once you do, you can edit the video, and therefore, I really advise you doing this because it will expand your audience. There are some people that are hearing impaired, and they would really appreciate it if you would close caption your videos. I'm in the process of closed captioning a lot of my popular videos, and more importantly, I am in the process of closed captioning my Italian videos so you guys can learn those lessons a little bit easier. Alright. Wow. I know I've covered a bundle of things tonight. Thank you very much for continuing to watch me. And I appreciate all your views, all your subscriptions. I appreciate everything you've done. Alright. I don't have too much more to say tonight, so I'm going to let you guys go. I know there's some severe weather that's going to be moving in tomorrow, and so I may pop up some videos tomorrow. I may not. It just depends. So, anyway, thanks again for watching me. I will tell you more in a future video, so I would like for you to stay tuned.